there's some names we just all recognize, aren't there? I mean, we saw in last week's sermon that we have 9 million Abrahams in this world, 13 million Davids in this world. But how about Nahshons? Do you know any Nahshons? Probably not. There's only 25,000 Nahshons in this world, and that's with a ton of different variations of spelling. I mean, how would you spell Nahshon? In the United States, there's probably less than 2,000. I would even venture to say there not even be that many Nahshons. You're not going to run into a Nahshon every day. And so we get to the genealogy of Jesus, and we run into this name, and we might be quick to just skip over it. But if we did, we'd be making a mistake. In Matthew chapter 1, verse 4, we find this part of the genealogy of Jesus. And Ram, the father of Amminadab, Amminadab, the father of Nahshon, and Nahshon, the father of Salmon. And so there that name is. But who is Nahshon? When we get back to Exodus chapter 6, we find that he's part of a pretty remarkable family. Not often do we have females in genealogies, but Nahshon's sister, she makes it into a genealogy. Exodus chapter 6, verse 23. Aaron took as his wife Elisheba, the daughter of Amminadab, the sister of Nahshon. And she bore to him Nahab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And so here we find that Nahshon's sister is the wife of Aaron. So out of Amminadab's line, you have his daughter, Elisheba, who becomes the matriarch of the priestly line. And then you have Amminadab's son, Nahshon, who becomes one in the long line of patriarchs that leads to the kingly line of David that leads to Jesus. So in Amminadab, you have the priestly line and the kingly line both coming out. That's pretty remarkable in and of itself. And that reminds us all the way down to Jesus, because who is Jesus going to be? I mean, he is God, come to earth, fully God, fully man, but he plays the role of the great high priest. And he is the king who should and has always reigned as king in this world. But Nahshon, we're not done with him yet. When we get over to Numbers, in chapter 1, we find that in the second year, second month, first day, that the Lord tells Moses to set aside leaders for all the 12 tribes of Israel. And when it comes to the tribe of Judah, who do you think set aside as the leader from the Lord to be the head of that tribe as they go into the wilderness out of Sinai? They set aside Nahshon. And then when we find that they set up the tabernacle, so Moses has gone up to the mountain, he's found out all the plans for tabernacle, they make it, they set up the altar, the Levites come and they dedicate the altar. And then the Lord wants somebody from the head of each tribe to come and offer a sacrifice on the altar, to dedicate that altar for 12 days for each of the tribes. And who's the first tribe to go? And who's the first person to take an offering to the altar? Nahshon from the tribe of Judah is the first to go. And then you get to the point where they are ready to head out from Sinai. We find that it's the second year of the wilderness wanderings, second month, 12th day. Right? There's not much time between all this that's gone on. And as they set out from Sinai, what tribe leads? The tribe of Judah leads. And who leads them out? Nahshon leads them out. It might be an obscure name we find in a genealogy for Jesus, but he was not an obscure man. It reminds us that God uses people in this world. And God's got a great plan that he has been working throughout the history of the world. And that plan climaxes in Jesus.